When life seems gray, paint it gay with a song. Paint it bright and sunny.
When things go wrong, set them right with a song. Switch from sad to funny.
Open up wide so whatever inside won't have a corner to hide in.
When life looks blue,
change the hue with a song, with a song.
Mad or sad, make it glad with a song. Singing does things to you.
Feeling strange, you can change with a song. It can make a new you.
Why not begin with a smile and a grin? No holding back what's within you.
When life goes dark, strike a spark with a song. With a song.
Okay, my name is Dick Olson. I've lived here all my life on a farm about a mile up the road. And we walked to school every day for 8 years. And I had a brother and a sister, and we always carried our lunch. And we had some good times. I was born in 31, so I think, and that would make, I was about 5 years old, maybe 6 years old when I started, so that'd be about 37 or 36 when I started school here. I still remember my teachers, Wilma Emerson, Ruby Stampsted, Norma Krimigar, Hazel Sampson. They were good teachers. We used to play pretty hard on the playground. One day, Daryl Kirsting and he was coming around this corner and I was going that way. And he ran into me and he buried his tooth right in my forehead. And that was a memorable thing. Because I remember they brought me in and laid me on the desks someplace. But we used to play a lot. And one day, I come around the corner, I was on a wagon. Someone was pushing me and someone came with a wagon on the other way and we collided. And I said a bad word and Wilma Emerson caught me. And she told me, I want you to write 1,000 times. I will not swear again.
My name is Anita Olson, Damon now. My parents were Andy and Mildred Olson, and we lived right down Spring Creek Road and only 2 farms away. So it was very handy to get to school, but I enjoyed being able to ride on the bus with Mrs. Nanstead. And we loved it because we were the last ones picked up. We'd see her go up the road as far as Sandburg, so we knew we had like 2 more minutes so that we'd watch out the window on cold days. Here comes a bus, get out there, guys. I remember the teacher's schedule for the day on their desk, laying open the book of what was coming up, and it was always written exactly in perfect penmanship. And on the chalkboards, I think writing on chalkboards is the hardest thing to do, and that always looked perfect. And so they set the example that I remember looking at the alphabet chart along the wall and really trying hard to replicate those letters. My classmates, there were 4 in my class: Connie Bainup, Steve Swisher, Jim Thomas, and myself. We went here from 1956 until the school closed in 1963. We finished out that 62-63 school year and then went into Black River. It was like a big family. We respected one another. We watched out for one another. The older kids we really looked up to when they would help us with things. And at recess time now, I can't imagine 1st graders through 8th graders all out there playing together.
Hello, my name is Rebecca Sandberg. I'm now Wormus. I was Sandberg. I went from 1959 to 1962. I was caught whispering and I had to wear an I whisper sign. I'm telling you, that was like the worst thing that could possibly happen because you were like branded as a bad. When we were first graders, we would have to do jobs like everybody else, and the big kids would have to lift us up so we could reach the pump handle, and then we could pump the water. And Connie Nanstead, our bus driver, it was a 3-station wagon with 3 seats, and the one thing I remembered about it is she was a smoker. And it always smelled like smoke whenever we got in the car. Nothing wrong with that, Mrs. Nancy.
I'm Jean Sandberg. I'm the oldest daughter of Thomas and Catherine Sandberg. My 3 little sisters went here, but I only went for 2 years, 7th and 8th grade.
Right. I'm Arlene Mosley Quinlan, and I went here from 1st grade through 8th grade, so like 1940, the fall of 1949 to the spring of 1957. I was remembering music. When we had music day, there was a radio that sat here, and we would turn that on, and then we had the music books like that are over on the other side, and we would sing with Professor Gordon from the University of Madison.
And we all sang too.
Oh, we were good.
Yeah, we sang.
We were great singers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Miss Kinley, she was an art teacher in Black River, but she would travel to the country schools and teach us how to draw and paint and all that. One incident I remember with Miss Kinley, and I don't remember what year it was, but we went on a little tour, and she drove her car up, and we went up on the top of Moss Hill in a field there, and we were going to draw scenery, you know, trees and grass and stuff like this. And the only thing that happened that was kind of out of line was there was some heifer calves up there, but pretty good size. And Miss Kinley, I don't think, being a city girl, didn't know too much about cattle, and she thought it was a bull. And Miss Kinley ran. She actually took off running.
She was a big lady.
Yeah, she was short, but she was kind of chunky, but she could run.
I went to Spring Creek School in my 7th and 8th grade. And we sat right back in the corner there. There was Bobby Rand, Mary Emerson, Arlene Mosley, and Jeannie Sandberg. And we were the big kids. We were the big kids. But we were good, because in a small country school, we looked after the little ones, you know, and my favorite thing was we wanted to play ball. How do you play ball with 13 kids and all but 4 of them, like, so we made up rules. It was, if we hit the ball over the fence, we were out, because the little kids couldn't get under the fence. And the little kids got 5 strikes. And if they even came close to hitting, we let them run.
I'm Judy Thomas Dugan. One of my first memories at 1st grade, I was a bit nervous, but my older sister Sandra made me feel happy and safe. And then a little girl walked in with her dad and sister Ginger. She looked pretty nervous like me. Anyway, that little girl became my lifetime friend, Joyce Bush Art. To this day, I have been blessed with her friendship. Mrs. Shunky was a sweet, soft-spoken lady. I've been told that I have nice penmanship. I credit her for that gift, as she sort of made it feel like an art. I don't think my penmanship is that great, no, but I so appreciated her skill. Mrs. Nortman was a charming, caring teacher as well. Because I lived so close, I usually stayed after school to help her. After pushing the desks to one side, then sweeping, and then pushing them to the other side, one time her son, Tom, I think, was home from his service. Anyway, he came in and he went right up to the front, behind the teacher's desk, and he cranked up the radio and put a polka on. He grabbed his mom, my teacher, and swung her around as I sat on the chair thinking, and I sat back in the chair and said, oh my teacher's dance? I remember that so vividly. He was just twirling her around in there, and I was sitting over there watching. It was just like, she's just like us.
My name is Julie Sandberg Ruiz now. I attended the Spring Creek School from 1957 to 1962. My teacher is Mrs. Nortman, taught my grades 1 through 4, and Mrs. McManners taught grade 5 from 61 to 62. We had 6 grades with 1 to 4 students in each grade. When it was time for a subject lesson, a single grade would sit at the table in front and the teacher would give her lesson. Even though the rest of the students could hear, we were all responsible to get our work done. If we had a problem or question, the older kids were our tutors. In the morning, the flag was raised with everyone reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. Water needed to be pumped each morning for the bubbler, washing hands and doing dishes. After lunch, all the dishes were washed and put away. Excess food was dumped in a hole at the back of the property. At the end of the day, blackboards were washed, erasers were taken outside to beat the chalk out of them, water emptied, outdoor bathrooms swept, floors swept, and the flag properly lowered and folded without ever touching the ground. Many thanks to both Mrs. Nortman and Mrs. McManners for giving us the best formative years. God bless them.
My name is Mary Ann Ripp, formerly Mary Ann Rand. I attended Spring Creek School from 3rd grade through 8th grade when I graduated. This stage where we had Christmas programs, the big boys would pull the curtains and we had kind of a little cubbies back here where we could change our clothes if we, had any costume to wear. This place would be packed, the hallways would be full. My teacher was Hazel Sampson most of the time. Back in that corner we had a big old stove that would, sometimes the wind would blow and the smoke would come down instead of up. And we actually, I can recall, had 1 or 2 smoke days, not snow days, smoke days. We had to go home because it was too smoky. And we would bring jars, food in mason jars from home if we wanted something warmed. And she would put it on low heat about 11 o'clock, and by noon it would be hot, whatever we had. Wisconsin School of the Air was very prominent in our week. Everything would stop when Ranger Mac came on, gave his nature talks, and Professor Gordon, the music program. That was, we all stopped and learned all those songs. I still know those, know all those old songs, and I think it was my teacher Hazel, and we didn't have a piano here, but my teacher Hazel, I ordered which I still have. It's called Journeys in Music Land. It was all the piano music for the Professor Gordon show that I could play at home. I still have.
I went to school, starting with 1st grade. I went from 1st through 8th grade, all 8th grades, and I had Mrs. Sampson for the first 6 years. And I'm Jane Rand, but I had Mrs. Sampson for our teacher. She's a very kind lady. And then I had Marion Hagan, right, was the next teacher. And I think she just taught here for 1 year when I was here. And then we had Mrs. Shunke, who was finished out. And after that, of course, then we went into high school in Black River Falls. One of the advantages of going to a rural school like this is that you not only heard the reading class that you were supposed to be listening to, but you heard it year after year after year. I don't think there was anyone who came out of the school who didn't know the basics.
storms breathe.